When we think of time, we often imagine it as a straightforward, linear progression, the past, the present, and the future, moving forward in a straight line. But the Mayan civilization had a vastly different understanding of time that was cyclical, spiritual, and deeply connected to the fabric of the universe itself. The Mayan calendar is more than just a means of marking days and years. It's a tool of cosmic awareness, a reflection of the universe's most sacred rhythms, and a map of spiritual evolution. Its design, intricate and precise, reveals an understanding of time that extends far beyond the human experience. For the Maya, time wasn't just a measure of events, it was a sacred cycle, a living force that connected all things. What if the calendar we use today, with its rigid numbers and disconnected dates, is nothing more than an illusion, a construct that locks us into a world where we've forgotten the deeper truths of time? What if we could shift our perspective and see time, as the Mayans did, not as a linear march, but as a living, breathing cosmic pulsation that mirrors the cycles of the stars, the earth, and even the very consciousness that we embody? The Mayan calendar is based on two primary cycles, the Tzolk'in and the Hab. These cycles are not merely a way to keep track of days, they represent a deep spiritual structure that governs both the material and metaphysical realms. The Tzolk'in, a 260-day cycle, is intricately connected to the human soul, its journey, its growth, and its connection to the cosmic energies of the universe. The Hab, a 365-day cycle, marks the solar year, bringing in the divine connection to nature and the rhythms of the earth. The Maya saw time as something that was alive, fluid, and ever-changing. To them, each day wasn't just another passage of minutes, it was a unique vibration, filled with its own energy and opportunities for transformation. Each day carried a unique frequency and was aligned with specific cosmic forces that could either support or challenge individuals, depending on how they understood and tuned into those forces. To the Maya, every individual was inextricably linked to the cycles of the universe. They understood that the cosmic forces, the movement of the stars, the planets, the sun, and the moon were not distant or separate from their own lives. These forces were interwoven with the human soul, guiding us through cycles of growth, transformation, and spiritual awakening. The calendar wasn't just a measure of time. It was a way to sync with the cosmos, to align with the divine forces at play in the universe, and to understand the deeper meaning of existence. But the calendar isn't just a tool for understanding the present moment, it is also a key to unlocking the future. The Maya believed that time, in its cyclical nature, was always in motion. Each cycle built upon the next, creating a path of evolution that humanity would follow, step by step. The calendar, in this sense, was a kind of divine roadmap, a guide to the cycles of human evolution, both on an individual level and on a collective level. But what does this mean for us today? Why should we care about an ancient calendar, developed by a civilization long gone, in our fast-paced, technologically driven world? The answer lies in the timeless wisdom embedded within the Mayan calendar. Time is not merely a backdrop to our lives. It is a living force, a cosmic rhythm that flows through our bodies, our hearts, and our souls. The Mayan calendar is an invitation to remember the cosmic dance we are part of, and to reconnect with the deeper spiritual cycles that guide our evolution as humans. For the Maya, spirituality and time were inseparable. To live in harmony with the universe meant understanding the cycles that govern existence and aligning oneself with those rhythms. But somewhere along the way, as modern societies developed, we lost sight of this sacred connection to time. We built systems that fragmented time, turning it into something rigid, static, and devoid of spiritual meaning. But the Mayan calendar reminds us that time is a tool for enlightenment, and through its cycles, we can access profound wisdom and healing. By looking to the Mayan calendar, we can rediscover a path to greater understanding, alignment, and spiritual connection. Instead of merely tracking time, we can learn to flow with it, to work with it as an ally, guiding us towards spiritual awakening and self-realization. As we explore the teachings of the Mayan calendar, we will come to understand how it offers us not just a method for measuring time, but a profound spiritual blueprint for understanding our place in the cosmos and our journey through this life. Through its cycles, we can learn to harness the cosmic forces that shape our world and align ourselves with the greater universal patterns that guide us toward enlightenment. The Mayan calendar is more than just a method of tracking days. It is a map of the universe, a divine tool designed to align human consciousness with the cosmic forces that shape time, space, and spiritual evolution. To truly understand its power, we must look beyond the superficial counting of days and see the hidden layers of wisdom encoded in its cycles. At its core, the Mayan calendar is a reflection of sacred geometry. This is not a coincidence. The ancient Maya were deeply attuned to the vibrational patterns that govern all of existence. They understood that the patterns of creation in the universe, whether in the stars, the oceans, or the human body, are governed by sacred geometrical ratios that align perfectly with the cycles of time. In the same way that the flower of life is a pattern that underlies all physical existence, the Mayan calendar is built upon intricate geometric patterns that represent the unfolding of cosmic law. These patterns are not only a reflection of the physical world, but of the spiritual dimensions that exist beyond the material. The calendar acts as a bridge between the physical world and the spiritual realms, guiding us through cycles of growth, rebirth, and transformation. Sacred geometry and the calendar cycles. At the heart of the Mayan calendar are the cycles of the Tzolk'in and the Hab, but these are not just arbitrary measures of time. They are deeply interconnected, forming a harmonious web of energy that corresponds to the underlying structure of the universe. The Tzolk'in, the 260-day cycle, is directly linked to the human experience and the soul's journey through various phases of spiritual evolution. The Hab, the 365-day cycle, corresponds to the solar year and marks the Earth's journey around the sun. But these cycles are more than just markers. They are living forces that inform and shape every aspect of life on Earth. Each day on the Tzolk'in carries a unique energy. There are 20 different day signs in the cycle, each representing a specific archetype or divine principle that governs that particular day. The 13 numbers associated with each day represent the 13 steps of spiritual evolution, aligning with the idea of ascending consciousness. These 13 steps are not just symbolic, they are energetic frequencies that correspond to the soul's journey through different stages of awakening. This is why the Tzolk'in is often referred to as the sacred calendar. It is a blueprint for personal and collective spiritual transformation. Each of the 260 days represents an opportunity for growth and alignment with divine principles. These days are not random. They are intricately designed to provide us with the necessary experiences and teachings that allow us to move through spiritual cycles and evolve. The calendar reminds us that each day is a sacred opportunity, a chance to align ourselves with higher frequencies and deepen our connection to the divine. Time as a cosmic frequency. But time, in the context of the Mayan calendar, isn't simply about tracking moments. Time is seen as a vibrational frequency, a cosmic pulse that influences the mind, the body, and the soul. When we understand time in this way, we begin to see that our lives are not just a series of disjointed events. They are a continuous unfolding of energetic patterns. The Mayan calendar helps us tap into this cosmic rhythm. It shows us that everything in the universe operates on a vibrational frequency, and by aligning ourselves with these frequencies, we can synchronize our lives with the greater cosmic flow. This connection to the universal pulse is key to manifesting higher states of consciousness and spiritual enlightenment. By understanding the calendar as a living frequency, we can begin to tune into the energies of each cycle, allowing us to flow with time rather than resist it. The Maya understood that by syncing with the natural rhythms of the cosmos, humans could transcend the limitations of linear time. This is the key to unlocking higher consciousness and spiritual evolution, not by battling the passage of time, but by becoming one with it. As the world turned its gaze to the year 2012, a palpable sense of anticipation swept over humanity. The Mayan calendar, long considered an ancient relic, was suddenly thrust into the global spotlight, its cryptic symbols stirring a collective curiosity and fear. Was this the end of the world, or the beginning of a new one? The truth, as the Maya understood, lies far beyond the surface interpretation that mainstream culture has attached to their prophecy. The 2012 phenomenon sparked widespread belief that the Mayans had predicted the end of time itself, a catastrophic event that would wipe out civilization and leave humanity to face oblivion. But the ancient Maya saw time not as a linear progression, but as a cyclone that was constantly unfolding, with beginnings, endings, and rebirths interwoven in an eternal dance. For the Maya, 2012 was not an end, but the completion of a great cyclone that had begun thousands of years earlier. It was the end of an era, yes, but it was also the beginning of a new age. The Maya understood time as cyclical, with each cycle offering a new opportunity for spiritual and material evolution. The end of the 13th Baktun, which marked the completion of the long count calendar cycle, did not signify the destruction of the world, but rather the culmination of an era. The Maya knew that, as with all cycles, what comes to an end is not annihilated. Instead, it is transformed, paving the way for a new cycle to emerge. The year 2012, in the context of the Mayan calendar, was seen as the beginning of a new cosmic cyclia time when humanity would move into a higher state of awareness, a higher frequency, where the veil between the material world and the spiritual realms would become thinner. However, the truth of the Mayan prophecies has been distorted by centuries of colonization, misinterpretation, and theft of knowledge. The Maya were not simply concerned with measuring time. They were deeply engaged in the pursuit of cosmic alignment. Their prophecies were not warnings of an apocalyptic event, but guidelines for humanity to return to the natural order of the universe, to remember our place within the greater cosmic plan, and to heal the rift between our inner selves and the greater universal consciousness. The teachings of the Mayan calendar go far beyond predictions. The lost wisdom embedded in their cycles holds profound teachings about the nature of time, space, and human evolution. These teachings are not simply about the past or the future, they are about the present. The Mayans understood that time is not a line that we pass through, but a living, breathing force. They knew that if humanity could learn to live in alignment with the cycles of time, we could unlock the secrets of the universe, reconnect with the divine, and transcend the limitations of the physical world. Many of the prophecies passed down through the ancient Maya were not meant to be interpreted as predictions of external events, but as inner awakenings. They spoke of the shift in consciousness that would take place at the end of the great cycle, the awakening of the human spirit, the restoration of cosmic balance, and the rise of a new world that would be built on the foundation of unity, love, and spiritual harmony. In the ancient Mayan teachings, the end of the cycle is always followed by a new beginning. The wisdom embedded in the calendar is not just about tracking time, it's about recognizing that the passage of time is a reflection of the greater cosmic cycle. The prophecies offer a pathway for humanity to transition into higher dimensions of existence, to transcend the cycles of birth and death, and to awaken to the divine potential that lies dormant within us all. The Mayan calendar teaches that the completion of a cycle is a time of profound transformation. It is an opportunity to shed the old and make space for the new to let go of outdated beliefs, old patterns, and the limitations that have bound us to the physical world. But the transformation is not a forceful act, it is a gentle awakening, a return to the divine flow, and a remembering of our true nature. The prophecy of 2012, then, was not about the world coming to an end. It was about the end of an era of spiritual amnesia and the beginning of a new era of spiritual awakening. The Maya knew that humanity, in its quest for power and control, had become disconnected from the divine flow of the universe. But they also knew that this disconnect was temporary, and that the return of the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and the divine union would bring humanity back into alignment with its highest spiritual purpose. The real prophecy was not about the destruction of the world, it was about the restoration of balance, the healing of the collective soul, and the awakening of humanity to its full potential as divine beings. The wisdom contained in the Mayan calendar is not just an abstract concept reserved for ancient rituals and sacred practice. It is a living tool that can guide us in our day-to-day lives. For centuries, this ancient calendar has been revered for its profound spiritual insights, and its teachings are as relevant today as they were in the time of the Maya. In the face of modern distractions, fast-paced living, and a world often out of alignment with natural rhythms, the Mayan calendar offers us a way to reconnect with the flow of time and the cosmic forces that govern our existence. To understand how to apply the Mayan calendar in a practical, tangible way, we must first recognize that its purpose is not simply to measure time, but to align us with the energies of the universe. The Maya understood that time itself is a living, breathing force, a cosmic current that shapes not only the movements of the stars and planets, but the movements of the soul. This was not just about tracking events or predicting outcomes, it was about harmonizing with the universe and understanding our role within the vast, unfolding drama of existence. Aligning with natural cycles. The first step in living with the Mayan calendar is to understand the importance of natural cycles. The Maya did not see themselves as separate from nature. They recognized that the natural world, the sun, the moon, the stars, the earth, and the seasons were not just passive forces in the background, but living entities that were deeply interconnected with the rhythms of the human soul. The calendar reflects this fundamental truth. It offers a guide to the cycles of nature, inviting us to sync with the cosmic flow and move through life with intention, purpose, and alignment. In our modern world, we are often disconnected from these natural rhythms. We have been conditioned to live by the clock, to view time as something to manage, control, and measure. We have lost sight of the sacredness of time, the truth that each moment holds the potential for transformation, healing, and spiritual growth. The Mayan calendar offers us a tool to reclaim this lost wisdom and to return to a life of balance with the natural world. The Maya understood the power of the Tzolk'in cycle, the 260-day sacred calendar, and how each day is imbued with unique energies that can guide us. By aligning our lives with this cycle, we begin to recognize that each day carries its own vibration, its own frequency, and its own potential for spiritual growth. By tuning into the energy of each day, We can choose to live in harmony with the natural flow of the universe, rather than fighting against it. The Hab, the solar calendar, aligns with the cycle of the sun and the changing seasons, allowing us to tap into the natural rhythms of the earth. As the sun moves through its cycles, we are reminded that life too is a cycle of birth, growth, death, and rebirth. The solar year reminds us of the importance of aligning our internal rhythms with the rhythms of the earth, embracing the seasonal shifts and the opportunities they bring for personal transformation. Living beyond time and space. One of the most profound teachings of the Mayan calendar is its ability to teach us to transcend the illusion of linear time. In our modern world, we are conditioned to view time as a fixed, linear progression from past to present to future. This understanding of time creates a sense of urgency, stress, and separation. We constantly worry about what is behind us and what is ahead, forgetting that the present moment is the only time that truly exists. The Mayan calendar invites us to move beyond this narrow, linear view of time and to enter into the realm of eternal present, the space where the past, present, and future converge. The sacred cycles of the calendar are a constant reminder that time is not a line but a circle, ever revolving, ever renewing. The Maya understood that in order to live a life of spiritual power, we must learn to live beyond time and space, tapping into the infinite flow of consciousness that exists in the present moment. To live with the Mayan calendar is to surrender the need to control time and instead allow it to unfold naturally in alignment with our divine purpose. Each day becomes an opportunity to step into the cosmic rhythm, to open ourselves to higher states of awareness, and to surrender to the divine flow of the universe. In this way, the calendar becomes not just a tool for marking time, but a path to liberation, a way to transcend the constraints of linear time and tap into the infinite possibilities that exist in the eternal now. Time as we know it is often thought of as a rigid, unchanging entity. It is measured in seconds, minutes, hours, and years. But what if time, in its truest form, is not something we should try to control or manipulate, but something we must learn to unlock? What if time itself is a portal, one that connects us to realms beyond our physical existence? The Mayan calendar offers just that, a way to move beyond the limitations of ordinary time and access higher dimensions of awareness, where the past, present, and future blend into one seamless eternal now. The Maya understood that time is not merely a sequence of moments that pass us by, but a dynamic, living force that shapes and guides the universe. They saw the calendar as a means of tuning into the cosmic frequencies to attune oneself to the rhythms of the universe and transcend the linear view of time. In doing so, they tapped into higher dimensions, places beyond the material realm, where the rules of time and space no longer apply. These dimensions exist outside of the everyday reality we experience and can be accessed through consciousness. The Tzolk'in and Hab cycles are not simply tracking tools, they are cosmic gateways that can unlock higher dimensions. When we align with the Mayan calendar, we are stepping into a rhythm that allows us to access the hidden realms of existence, realms that speak to our higher selves, the inner divine that resides within us all. The Maya knew that by understanding time and working with its natural cycles, they could tap into the hidden realms that surround us, realms where true knowledge, wisdom, and spiritual power reside. Accessing higher realms of consciousness. The concept of higher dimensions is often dismissed in modern society, but it is deeply embedded in ancient teachings like the Mayan calendar. The calendar's intricate cycles align with the very fabric of existence, bridging the gap between the physical and spiritual realms. To the Maya, the Tzolk'in wasn't just a way to measure days, but a vibrational frequency that aligned with cosmic energies. It was a key that unlocked access to higher states of consciousness, a gateway to realms where thoughts and energies flowed freely without the constraints of physical time. Each of the 260 days in the Tzolk'in carries a distinct energy, and by understanding and aligning ourselves with these energies, we unlock the ability to move between dimensions of consciousness. This is not mere fantasy or metaphor. This is the ancient science of time as understood by the Maya. The day signs and numbers of the calendar correspond to specific frequencies, each one vibrating at a different level of reality, allowing us to tune into the deeper, more subtle aspects of existence. Imagine a world where you can move freely between dimensions, not by leaving your body, but by expanding your awareness. This is what the Mayan calendar offers us. It allows us to tap into the multidimensional nature of reality, where we can perceive beyond the limits of ordinary space and time. The calendar helps us align with the universal forces that guide the evolution of both the cosmos and the soul. When we understand time as a living, breathing force, we can see it for what it truly is, a cosmic bridge to the divine. The Maya knew that by following the natural cycles encoded in the calendar, they could access the highest levels of spiritual awakening to journey into higher dimensions of awareness, where knowledge of the universe is not found in books, but in the very fabric of existence itself. A cosmic bridge. Time and space are not separate. One of the core beliefs of the Maya was that time and space are not separate. They are interwoven, like threads in a vast cosmic tapestry. In the Mayan worldview, time is the medium through which the cosmic order is established. The calendar, therefore, is not just a way to measure the passage of days. It is a key to understanding the deeper nature of the universe. By following the cycles of the calendar, we align ourselves with the divine flow of time flow that connects the physical and spiritual realms. The Maya understood that space, like time, is a vibrational force. Each space in the universe, whether it's the earth, a temple, or a moment in time, vibrates at a certain frequency. The Mayan calendar offers us the tools to tune into these vibrations and align ourselves with them, creating a harmonious relationship between time, space, and consciousness. This alignment is what allows us to move through dimensions, transcend the limitations of the physical world, and experience the infinite reality that surrounds us. The Mayan calendar is often thought of as a tool for understanding the past and present, but perhaps its greatest gift to humanity lies in its ability to offer profound insights into the future. The calendar itself is not just a spiritual or philosophical artifact. It is a blueprint for human evolution, a sacred map that guides us toward the next great shift in consciousness. The Mayan sages, with their keen understanding of time and cosmic cycles, knew that the future of humanity was not predetermined, but rather a consequence of our collective actions and alignment with the universal energies. While mainstream history views the Mayan calendar through the lens of past events and apocalyptic prophecies, the true purpose of the calendar is far more transformational. It is not meant to predict destruction, but to guide us through collective spiritual awakening, enabling us to access higher planes of existence and enter a new era of harmony and balance. The cycles contained in the Mayan calendar are not just markers of time, but also indicators of spiritual epics that align humanity with the greater cosmic flow. The end of the fifth Sunday and the rise of the sixth. One of the most significant aspects of the Mayan calendar is its division of time into distinct suns, each representing a different phase in the spiritual evolution of humanity. The fifth Sunday, according to Mayan prophecy, represents the current Arathi age we are living in now. This period has been marked by disconnection from the divine, materialism, and the separation of mind, body, and spirit. The calendar marks the end of this era, signaling a shift toward a new age where we will return to the harmony and unity of the divine. The sixth Sunday, the new era that the Mayans foresaw, is not merely a period of time, but a transformation of consciousness. In this new era, humanity will begin to awaken to its divine potential, recognizing its interconnectedness with all beings and the earth itself. The prophecy of the sixth Sunday speaks of spiritual enlightenment, cosmic balance, and the restoration of the divine order. This is not a future that is handed to use, it is one that we must actively co-create. The transition from the fifth to the sixth Sunday is not a dramatic or sudden event. It is a gradual awakening that will unfold over time. This shift is already happening as more and more people around the world begin to awaken to higher states of consciousness. The Mayan calendar teaches us that this transformation is not just an external shift, but an internal on-ia shift in how we perceive time, space, and reality itself. We are moving from a time dominated by linear thinking to a time where we will embrace the multidimensional nature of existence. The role of human consciousness in the cosmic plan. What makes the Mayan calendar so powerful is its ability to show us that human consciousness is not separate from the cosmos. The cycles of the calendar reflect the deeper spiritual truths that govern the universe. In this sense, the fate of humanity is intimately tied to our ability to align ourselves with these cycles. The calendar offers us the opportunity to live in harmony with the cosmic forces that shape the universe, allowing us to ascend to higher states of awareness and spiritual coherence. The great shift that the Maya prophesied is not an event that is going to happen to use, it is an event that we must actively participate in. It is the awakening of human consciousness that will propel us into a new age, and the Mayan calendar offers us the guidance to navigate this transition. The Maya understood that human evolution was not about survival of the fittest, but about spiritual alignment with the greater cosmic flow. The calendar teaches us that the collective evolution of humanity is not a random process. It is a journey guided by cosmic rhythms and spiritual laws. By aligning with these rhythms, we can step into the flow of the universe and co-create a new world, one that is based on unity, peace, and spiritual awareness. Cycles of awakening, the spiritual map for humanity's evolution. Humanity is currently in the midst of a great awakening and evolution of the spirit that mirrors the cosmic shifts encoded in the Mayan calendar. The calendar is not just a tool for measuring time, but a spiritual map that guides us toward a deeper understanding of our place in the cosmos. Each cycle within the calendar represents a stage in human spiritual development, and we are now moving into one of the most transformational periods in human history. As we journey further into the wisdom of the Mayan calendar, we begin to understand that the shift towards the sixth Sunday is not just a transformation of the world around. It is fundamentally a reawakening of the ancient wisdom that lies dormant within each of us. This sacred knowledge is encoded in our DNA, passed down through millennia of human history, buried beneath layers of time, forgetfulness, and disconnection. Yet, just as the Mayan calendar reveals the eternal cycles of time, it also points to a timeless truth that we are now being called to remember. The teachings of the Maya were not simply about tracking the passage of days or predicting future events. They were about understanding the divine plan and our place within it. They knew that every human being carries the spark of divinity within them, and that the key to unlocking the next stage of human evolution lies in reconnecting with the ancient wisdom that has always been within reach. The Mayan calendar is a map, but it is also a mirror. It reflects back to us the cosmic truths that we have long forgotten, the understanding that time is not linear, but cyclical, that we are all connected to the universe, and that we are each powerful creators in the divine tapestry of existence. The hidden codes of the calendar. When we look at the Tzolk'in or the Hobbes cycle, we are not merely looking at a calendar in the traditional sense. These cycles are embedded with hidden codes that speak to the very nature of human consciousness and our potential to evolve. The Maya understood that every number, every symbol, and every day sign was more than a marker of time. It was a doorway to higher knowledge and spiritual awakening. Each of the 260 days in the Tzolk'in cycle is associated with a unique symbolic energy force that embodies a particular archetype of human experience. These archetypes are not just symbols. They are living energies that connect us to the deeper layers of the universe. When we work with these symbols, we are invited to tap into the universal wisdom they hold, allowing us to reconnect with the ancient knowledge that is encoded within us all. For example, the day signs of the Tzolk'in, such as jaguar, eagle, serpent, or sunar, not simply animals or concepts. They are divine archetypes that unlock different dimensions of human experience. They represent our potential to transform, to ascend, and to create. These energies are not external, they are internal, waiting to be reactivated within us. As we align with these archetypes, we begin to experience a deeper connection to our higher self and the cosmic flow that surrounds us. The 13 numbers associated with each day sign are equally significant. These numbers represent stages of spiritual evolution, each one carrying its own vibration and energy. By understanding the progression of these numbers, we gain insights into our own spiritual path and the steps required to reach the next level of consciousness. Awakening the divine within. The shift towards the sixth Sunday is not about waiting for the world to change around us. It is about awakening the divine spark within ourselves. The Mayan calendar shows us that the true transformation occurs not when the external world shifts, but when we align with the cosmic energies and remember who we truly are. This is the essence of spiritual enlightenment, recognizing that we are divine beings in human form, capable of co-creating with the universe. This divine connection is not something we must search for, it is already within us. The Mayan calendar reminds us that our spiritual potential is latent and that the key to unlocking this potential lies in our alignment with the cosmic forces. As we begin to understand the deeper meanings behind the calendar's cycles, we begin to awaken to the inherent power within us. It is a call to return to our ancient wisdom, to remember our true nature, and to step into our higher selves. This process of remembering is a deeply personal one. It is a journey that requires us to let go of old beliefs, societal conditioning, and the false narratives that have been imposed upon us. It asks us to reclaim our connection to the earth, the stars, and the cosmic energies that flow through all things. It is not a process of becoming something new, but of remembering who we have always been. As we awaken to this truth, we begin to experience the profound peace, clarity, and joy that comes with spiritual alignment. The return of the sacred masculine and feminine. One of the most profound shifts that the Mayan calendar points to is the rebalancing of the sacred masculine and sacred feminine energies. The Maya understood that these forces are not separate, but complementary. They are the two halves of the divine whole, and in order to achieve true spiritual unity, we must learn to live in balance with both. As we approach the culmination of the wisdom encoded in the Mayan calendar, we must remember that this ancient system is not just about understanding the cycles of time. It is a prophecy for the ascension of humanity itself. The final prophecy of the Maya reveals a truth that is not about the end of the world, but the awakening of the soul, the realization that the end of an era marks the beginning of a new cycle. It is a prophecy that speaks to the spiritual potential of all beings, calling us to transcend the limitations of the material world and enter a new era of cosmic consciousness. The Maya believed that humanity's path was not fixed, it was a journey that unfolded over time, influenced by the choices and actions of each individual and the collective. The Mayan calendar offers us a map to navigate this journey, guiding us toward a future where humanity will return to its divine origins and live in harmony with the cosmos. This final prophecy tells us that as we enter the new era, we must shed the old paradigms of fear, separation, and materialism. We are called to rise into the higher dimensions of existence, where we will experience a world of unity, peace, and spiritual evolution. This shift is not just an abstract concept, it is a very real transformation of consciousness that is unfolding as we speak. It is the realization of the ancient dream of the Maya, who foresaw a time when humanity would return to its divine essence and live in harmony with the forces of the universe. The role of humanity in the ascension. The Mayan calendar's final prophecy teaches us that the ascension of humanity is not something that will be done for us. It is a process that we must actively participate in. Just as the Tzolk'in and Hab cycles guide us through different stages of spiritual awakening, the prophecy shows us that we must rise together as one global community to embrace our divine potential. The path to ascension is one of conscious awakening, a process of recognizing that we are not just physical beings, but spiritual entities connected to the infinite wisdom of the universe. As we awaken to this truth, we begin to see the world through new eyes, no longer limited by the constraints of time and space, but liberated by the understanding that we are all part of the same divine consciousness. In the final prophecy, the Maya speak of global unity, a time when humanity will come together not in conflict, but in harmony, working as one to create a new earth based on spiritual principles. This is not a future that is out of our reach, it is a potential reality that is already unfolding. The Mayan calendar gives us the tools to unlock this potential and step into the higher dimensions of consciousness, where we will experience the world as it truly is, a sacred reflection of the divine. The Great Awakening, transcending duality. One of the key aspects of the final prophecy is the transcendence of duality. The Maya understood that the world we experience is one of polarities, light and dark, male and female, day and night, life and death. These dualities are not inherently negative. They are simply expressions of the cosmic balance that governs the universe. However, the separation of these polarities has led to conflict, confusion, and disconnection within humanity. The final prophecy teaches that the ascension of humanity requires us to move beyond duality, to recognize that all opposites are part of a greater unity. This is the true meaning of enlightenment, the realization that we are not separate from the world, but a part of a cosmic whole. The Maya foresaw a time when humanity would come to understand that there is no separation between the spiritual and the material, the divine and the human. All is one. This awakening will take place not in a single moment, but over time, as more and more individuals begin to align with the divine flow of the universe. The Mayan calendar serves as a tool to help us navigate this process, providing a blueprint for spiritual evolution and offering us the keys to unlock the mysteries of the universe. The galactic alignment, humanity's connection to the cosmos. One of the most profound aspects of the Mayan calendar's prophecy is its connection to the stars. The Maya were deeply attuned to the movements of the stars, understanding that the cosmic cycles of the galaxy influenced the spiritual evolution of humanity. The galactic alignment that occurs in the Mayan calendar is not simply an astronomical event, it is a cosmic opportunity for humanity to reconnect with the divine forces of the universe and align with the cosmic flow.